Welcome to Lighter Shade of Brown, brought to you by Joe Brown. Today, on A Lighter Shade of Brown, we talked about Phoenix, how it's changed, how it's grown, how everything has blossomed over the last 30-plus years, as well as my renewed love for the Lakers as a certain somebody is now a free agent. Thank you. Bye-bye. Welcome to Lighter Shade of Brown. As you can see, the summer heat's affected me. My mind is already fried. I've always been lucky enough to travel during the summer. This year, not so much. So we've got some renovations going on at the house. So I've needed to be there to attend to them, which means I am experiencing all of this heat, probably more so than most, and have not been able to leave. And it is frying my brain. Add that to the fact that I play golf, and when you play golf in the summer, you need to go off in the morning. So we tee off at 6 a.m. Currently, the golf course that I play is closed for some renovations. So now I have pent-up energy that I can't spend taking out on a golf ball or heckling my friends while they try to hit a golf ball. So we're going to direct that towards this show today. What I will tell you is it is hot as here in Arizona. When they say 115, it's 115. You come in from outside, you come into inside, and you're still sweating. I think I'm still sweating now from driving in this morning. So it's tough. But always say you don't shovel sunshine. And I grew up in Erie, Pennsylvania until I was about 12 years old. And in Erie, Pennsylvania, they'll predict 6 inches and you'll get 6 feet of snow. And that snow will bury you. And then you have to go out and shovel it. And I remember as a kid, my mom would tell me to go start the car. That's back when you couldn't push the button to start the car. You had to turn, put your foot on the brake and turn it. And sometimes you had to turn it a couple times, maybe even give it a little bit of gas because we were not well off and our cars were not always the best. So you had to baby them to get them started sometimes. So we'd start them. She'd send me out to start them, shovel the walk. Then I'd come inside and have some coffee and toast. Yes, I was 10 and drinking coffee, but that's another story. That's just trying to stay warm. That's not, I need an energy to get going in the morning like I do now. So I think about those days when it's 115 degrees out and I'm sweating just looking outside. So yes, I remember shoveling snow and I go, listen, at least I don't have to shovel this. And that is a positive. There's not much else you can do. You hang out in the pool, but I am a fair-skinned individual. So while I wish I was a lighter shade of brown, I'm really a dark shade of red in the summertime. And I wish that were not true. My daughter, Abigail, tans, and she looks beautiful. And she's got this beautiful brown skin. And I always say, she's like, you have no color. And I go, I do have color. I have red, and red is a color. And that's what I become in the summer. And it sucks. So fun stuff, fun things I think about. You know what it is? The summer is a great time to work on your cases, get your cases settled, get some mediations done, and try to make your clients some money. And that's what I tell all my young lawyers. We're a little slow in the summer, less people on the road, less accidents. Great time to work on your cases, build your cases, give the attention the clients need, give them a little extra attention because you got the extra time. So that's the firm part of what you do in the summer when you're a business owner in Arizona. All I can tell you is stay out of the heat. If you hit the golf ball, you know what? Hitting in the trees in the summertime is not a bad thing. A little shade is solid. I don't hit fairways, so I don't have a problem. But enjoy what you have because you could be shoveling 6 feet of snow, which is worse. All right. Well, when you're bored in the summer and you can't play golf, what do? You kind of scroll sports. And you know what? The best thing just happened. I grew up a Laker fan. I loved Showtime. I loved Magic and Byron Scott, former Sun Devil. James Worthy, Vlade Divac, transitioning into Kobe and Shaq. All I grew up, because I grew up in Southern California. After I left Pennsylvania, we moved to Southern California before I came to Arizona. So at that time is when I really got, indoctrinated into basketball. In Pennsylvania, everything was football. I played football. I love football, still love football. But when you go to Southern California, everything there was basketball, especially during Showtime Lakers. So became a huge Laker fan. Now, I stopped being a Laker fan when they went and got LeBron because, as we've discussed, LeBron's a bitch, and I don't like LeBron. And I've never liked LeBron, and he caused me to leave the Lakers. But the greatest news from this summer, we can all rejoice and we can enjoy the fact that LeBron's gone. Feel free to take your son Bronny with you because he's a scrub and probably doesn't belong to be in the league. I think his dad did him a disservice. I think he should have stayed a couple more years in college. I think he could have learned a lot from that and may have developed into a very good pro player. But his dad was too busy trying to set his own personal goals and wanted to be in the starting lineup with his son and wanted to have that in the NBA history. So he sacrificed, in my opinion, his son's well-being and basketball future for his own personal goals. Another reason why I don't like him, because this guy is all about the record books, all about what's happening and how do I look. And you know what? When Magic and Bird were playing, they weren't thinking about playing with each other. They were thinking about beating each other. When teams in that generation, they wanted to beat each other. They wanted to kill each other. Now, I can't beat you. Let's all join and become a team. I mean, LeBron's going to be on his fifth team. I mean, sixth team. Who knows? And frankly, who cares? Whoever wants him can have him. We'll beat him. Now, Lakers need to do some work. They need to go get some players. I'm not going to say that the lineup they got now is going to put them in the NBA Finals, but at least it's basketball I can watch again, and I feel like I can root again, and I can become a Laker fan again, which is where my love was as a youth, and I'd like to come back. I mean, maybe I'll get a Luka jersey. Who knows? I mean, Luka's another guy. He needs to buck up. If it's his team, he needs to show it. Get your ass in the gym, get in shape, become a stud that you could be, that you can be. Stop, spending your money and being fucking soft, because you know what? Lakers aren't soft. We weren't until we got LeBron, at least. But now we're back. So go Lakers. All right. So as I covered, I grew up in Erie, Pennsylvania, till I was 12. Then I moved to Southern California, lived in Huntington Beach, went to high school in Huntington Beach, played football in Huntington Beach, and then came out to Arizona State in 1993. Now, things have changed. Now, I've lived here in Arizona longer than I've lived anywhere else in my life, with the exception of the 2.5 years I left for law school, where I lived in the D.C. area. I have lived in Arizona since 1993, after I graduated high school. So I've seen a lot of change. I mean, I love Phoenix. I tell people when I came out here from Phoenix, from L.A. area, Orange County, you come out here and you see it's just completely different. Everything's new here. If you grow up in the East Coast, you know what I mean. I mean, houses here are built in the 90s. I mean, I live in a home that's in one of the oldest sections of Tempe, and my house was built in 1979. I mean, okay, in Pennsylvania, houses are built in the 1800s. I mean, you literally can buy a house that was built in 1901 without a problem. I mean, they're still standing. This is a huge difference. California is different. Everything here is just new. Not that California is not old. It's not like Pennsylvania old, but it was older. And that's what's great about Phoenix. I've watched it really grow and develop and seen areas like Ahwatukee. I remember when Ahwatukee didn't exist. And they first started building Ahwatukee. I mean, I remember telling my ex-mother-in-law, listen, that's going to be the new Scottsdale. Go buy a house in Ahwatukee. I lived in Ahwatukee for 20 years. It's a beautiful area. It's great, and homes are great. Schools are great. And everything's built in the late 1990s, I should say. That's just different here. I mean, and everything's clean. I feel like we, knock on wood, we don't have the vandalization, the tagging, the stuff that I grew up with in California, and that's nice. I mean, I love it. I live in Tempe, and I've seen so much change. And Tempe is great. And then you got Chandler right next to me, and I remember when most of that was being built when I was in college. You didn't drive much past Guadalupe, Elliott. There really wasn't anything there. In fact, my subdivision in Tempe doesn't have sewer. We're on septic because sewer didn't go that far out when they were built in the early 80s. And that's it's a very unique thing. And I think it's great. It's wonderful to watch. I've loved watching this city grow and grow up and become a metropolitan area that's, we're the fifth biggest in the United States. With that, there's been tons of change. There's been tons of people relocating. And when people relocate, they bring their past and they bring their stuff with them. I've seen the state turn from a very conservative Republican state to down the middle. I mean, right now, it's definitely a toss-up type state when it comes to voting. People aren't always voting red or blue. They're voting the issues and what's best for us here in Arizona, which is great. And I've seen things change. We've got a Democratic governor. We've voted for, Democratic presidents. It's been close toss-ups the last 3 or 4 presidential elections as to who we're going to vote for and where the state's going to shift. And that's really fun to see. It's energizing. It's great to see and have Arizona really a part of the national mix, because with that comes attention to Arizona issues. And people don't realize that is that when we're, as they say, a purple state, well, now both sides want Arizona to go their direction. Well, that means that they're going to get money funneled into Arizona. Well, that's good for us. That's going to help us with our growth, our infrastructure, things like that. That means Arizona problems now become national problems, and they help get fixed. Also important, and that helps us grow and become a better city. I mean, we've got to deal with the water issues down the road, things along those lines, but it really is intriguing, and it's interesting to have watched grow up. And I mean, I've seen this now. I'm thinking, 93. I mean, what is it? I mean, that's 30 plus years. I mean, I feel like that's a long time, and I've seen a lot of changes in that. Things that used to be farms are now homes, and that's interesting. But with that, businesses have to change. And as an adjuster, I started as an adjuster in the 90s, transitioned to being a lawyer in the 2000s. I've seen a lot of changes, and what they pay for pain and suffering has gone up and it's gone down. We're now, we were once the most difficult conservative jury pool here in Maricopa County. Now we're becoming a little bit more liberal with those things. People are starting to hold businesses accountable, things that they didn't do in the past, and part of that is because cost of living has gone up. It was a time, and not too distant time. I mean, and we're talking maybe 10, 12 years, where the average juror made $32,000 a year. Well, if the average juror makes $32,000 a year, when they award someone $100,000, they think they just set them up for life, because that's 3 years of pay for them, and that's tax-free. So as the city has grown and the economy has grown and people have started making more money and understanding, what life is here, and compare it to other states, and people from other states coming here and bringing their understanding and their way of life and their ideas of what cost of living is and things like that, that's caused a lot of things to go up. Obviously, it causes things to become more expensive. Homes become far more expensive. I remember you could buy a house not that long ago for a couple $100,000. Now it's probably $450, $500 for your average, home. I think my first house was like $275, and that was in a great area, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Corner lot next to one of the best elementary schools in all of Phoenix. Now that house probably sells for almost $600,000. So that, I've seen a lot of those changes, and with those changes are some good and some bad. And insurance companies have become more difficult, that's for sure. And some of that is my competitors don't litigate cases. And when you don't litigate cases, you don't push the envelope, and the insurance company can continue to ratchet down how much they pay. And if you continue to accept it and you don't push back, they're going to keep going that way. We have a reputation at ALG that we push back, and we file a lot of lawsuits, and that's why we have a very robust litigation department. And now that people are starting to come in from other areas and they're starting to bring their ideas of cost of living and fairness that maybe came from California or Chicago or somewhere on the East Coast, jury verdicts are starting to go up a little bit, and that's huge, because that means companies are being held accountable for what they should pay, not what they're trying to force down your throat. And seeing that happen is tremendous. It's great for our business. It allows us to get cases settled for better value and for our clients to have a more appropriate resolution to their case. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't just come like this. And your bigger cases, I just explained this to someone the other day. I mean, I've had a case, we've litigating this case, and we've been on this case for 4 years. I still do not have an offer on this case. 4 years later, no offer. We're heading into a mediation here in a few weeks, and that's when we'll get our first offer, and maybe we'll get a chance to settle. But if we don't, we still don't have a jury date or, a jury trial set. So we're going to have to set that trial after the mediation. That may not be for another 2.5 years. My client may have to wait 6 years to get their recovery. Now, this case is worth several $1 million. This individual is permanently injured and has changed his life drastically as a result of this accident. So these are things that are positives, but they're also negatives. I mean, when you have more people, then the system gets strained. It used to be you could be in a jury trial 2-3 years. Now we're looking at 4 to 6 years from when you start a case. And that's a problem, and that's something we've got to deal with. But it's definitely something that I've seen change throughout my tenure as a lawyer, now 20 plus years. I've seen value of cases go up and down. We raised the minimum limits from $1,530 to $2,550. We did that a few years ago. I think that's something that was a long time coming. California still has $1,530 as the minimum limits. I mean, what do you do with $15,000? I don't know what you do with $25,000. You go to the hospital, you spend the night, it's $25,000. Newsflash. I mean, they run 4 X-rays and an MRI. Well, that's $15,000, guys. So we've got to adjust. Insurance has to adjust. And as an attorneys, we've adjusted to that. And now, obviously, when you get the insurance on the other side that's got significant limits, then you're able to get your client fully compensated. Too many times, we're really just trying to make numbers work so the clients walk out of there with a settlement, not owing any medical bills and money in their pocket because maybe we're dealing with a policy limit that's, grossly under what the value of the case is. And unfortunately, that's, while it may not have needed an attorney to get the policy limit, what you really need the attorney for and what we do sometimes in these real catastrophe cases is really just make the bills go away so their client's not left getting collection calls for the rest of their life or filing bankruptcy in 2 or 3 years because they need the bills to go away. And that's the benefit of a good lawyer. It's not someone who just says, "Hey, let me take the bills. You go take the bills. Here's a settlement. We'll take our fee. We'll give you the rest, and you understand you have to go pay the bills yourself." I mean, that to me, that's not doing your client a service. That's not who we are at ALG. We really strive to get all those bills paid and make sure you got a nice bow on your case at the end, and you can walk out of here going, "Hey, this weight's off my shoulders. Maybe I didn't get everything that I should have gotten, but at least I'm not left in owing money." And that's the most important thing.